water bottles. Plastic bottles in general should be banned. B-A-N-N-E-D. That means prohibited 100%. So this team over here is going to make a case for, yes, the prohibition, the banning of plastic water bottles. And this team over here is going to be arguing against it. These people are, the point that this team over here is making is not that pollution is good, but that the procedure of banning it is not good, right? That's the point. So just anticipating. Do you think pollution is good? No, nobody's gonna be saying that. All right. Don't just head that off right now. So I'm gonna give 7 minutes to these folks to make an opening remark. Okay? Okay. Here, give them a hand, everybody. Well, yeah. Give them Thank you, TOEFL people and Damon, for coming to visit us.
Mr. Cook.
Yeah, Mr. Cook. Enjoying this.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
This group is agree with plastic water bottles should be banned. Banning plastic water bottles will reduce waste and protect the environment. We are going to tell you why. First, 70% of plastic water bottles bought in the USA are not recycled, and around 90% in the world. Two, between 60% and 80% of plastic end in the ocean, and a large percentage is a plastic bottle. Three, every second, 1,000 people in the United States open a plastic water bottle. We tend to think of the bottled water is healthier or better tasting than tap water, especially given its popularity brand. But that's not always true, because drinking tap water is often safer and better for the environment and the humans. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
These statistics reveal a severe impact in the environment and on humans' well-being. How can we see that? First, the water that is in those water bottles.
Awkward.
In those.
That might be
about that later. I'm talking to you about that
I'll
later.
give you a little extra time.
This plastic, can I say this, please? Thank you. This plastic, when remains exposed to high temperatures for long periods of time, releases very bad toxins that goes into the water, and when we happily drink this delicious water, get those toxins inside our system.
Yes.
And of course, our system gets harmed. Right?
Yes.
That is the first point. Now, the second one. Plastic bottles mean pollution in all ways. Okay? When producing and when throwing them away. Okay? The production of these plastic bottles wastes more water than the water that contains the plastic bottle. And it releases a lot of gases to the environment, harming animals, plants, and human beings. These plastic bottles causes great contamination, and especially is not like an option to burn these. Okay? Some people say we can get rid of them by burning them, but burning this plastic will cause even a worse effect on the environment, because of all the toxins that I told you before are going to be released to the air, to the environment, and therefore to our system when we breathe these gases, and to the plants and to the animals. Now, finally, people who live close by manufacturing plants are on higher risk of experiencing birth defects and illnesses. So, if you want to have babies, please don't live nearby this. Okay, because it's true. It can help a lot of illnesses for people that are already living. And it can cause terrible, terrible defects for babies that are going to be born. Thank you.
Okay, hello. I'm going to talk about the problematic of recycling plastic bottles.
We don't believe you.
Plastic bottles has different materials. Principally, they are made of oil. All the bottles have different numbers. If you see the bottom of the bottles, they have from the number 1 to 7. This is the different kind of bottle used, the plastic used in bottles. The number 1 is the most common. It's used for bottles, and it's the most common to see. They are talk about the density of the bottle and how we can use it. Many of them are more fragile and easy to break, and easier to use. But all of them are made of oil, which means is very polluting because.
It's okay.
Can I take a break?
Yes, please.
Take your time, you got it. Breathe.
Good, great.
Pause, you got it.
Yes, this.
Don't worry about it.
Can you
You
pause
got it. You got this. Take your
So,
time.
do you want us to open the door? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's,
It
it's
is.
water here.
Can you take off the mask? Can you take off the mask?
You okay?
Yeah, he got it. He just got to breathe a little bit, calm down. Hold on. You got it, bro.
Water.
Help him sit. Sit down,
You can
please.
sit.
Yeah,
What's up, Pam?
Sit
Step
down.
outside.
Yeah, that's fine. You can continue. You guys can continue.
Sure, he doesn't need water.
Okay, y'all, this team, you have about a minute left anyway, so I'm gonna let y'all, yeah, why don't you walk around a little bit, go outside or something.
Come on.
Get some fresh air, get stuffy in here. Yeah, come on. Sorry. Okay, 7 minutes, these folks up here, you're gonna have probably a good idea. Okay, maybe get some food. Go grab a banana. Yeah, you should do that. Absolutely, yes. Okay, okay.
You got it, stop.
Suddenly, yes.
I see. Yeah, go ahead, anytime you want, sir.
Okay. Our team, my team and I, we are strongly disagree about to manage water. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Water bottle.
Water, yeah. So, I think if it's not natural, everything that is artificial is harmful for the health and most of the time for the environment too. So let's talk about water.
Water bottle. You can say quick. Water bottle.
When Stephanie was explaining, she said about the ocean. Like in the ocean, we can find a lot of like
Water bottle.
yeah.
Let's talk, yeah.
I don't think it's true, but on the ocean we can find a lot of things in the bottom of the ocean. It's only because the water bottom are like floating, so they are more visible than the, let's say, a glass bottle. So They say also that the plastic bottles are harmful. They make like I don't remember exactly what she said. Like they have chemicals something. But even the glass bottles, I don't know how to pronounce it. Even the glasses, they to prepare them, to make them, we need high temperature to produce glasses. So it's also harmful for the environment. So
That's fine.
The bottles.
so I don't think it's like 100% as they say, because our team and I consider like the water bottles are better than cans. You know what is cans, right?
Can.
You know, they are better than cans and than glass bottles. For example, in our classroom now, how many people has water? For example.
All plastic.
Yeah, all of them has plastic. Why? Because they consider that even they are not doing it intentionally, but at the end they consider that in plastic is more safety, easy to carry, and it's good for them. From like from the time we started school, I never seen no one here with like a glass bottle of water. That's not glass.
Steel.
Yeah, it's steel, but the steel is also harmful because it has corrosion. If you keep water in the steel more, not only water, a liquid on the steel like long time, it's corrosible. So it's very harmful for you. Okay, next I will give my partners the
I'll just continue with Mariano, what he told, like plastic bottle makes life much easier. They are lightweight, even the babies can hold that when things, even when the glass bottle scatters, it scatters everywhere and it's dangerous for everyone. So plastic bottles, if it falls, it's not going to harm you. And other types of beverages have plastic containers that are more harmful than the plastic water bottles, and bans doesn't necessarily reduce waste. Banning bottles water restricts consumer access to a product they want and negative effects on the small businesses. Everybody's like, we are wasting money and we are just like harming the environment. But preferable, I'm not going to go to the tap water and bring it from there, right? So even that is not the practical thing when you just go into your life. Even when you talk to the BPA steel bottles, there are more harmful chemicals than the plastic bottles. So unlike glass container, plastic bottles are rugged and resilient. They don't shatter into sharp pieces. Water placed in sealed water have been tested for all kinds of chemicals and bacteria. And because its scale, it has a lower risk of contaminated with disease causes germs. And even for the emergency preparations and everything like the earthquakes and the floodings and everything that goes around, so government also gives the advice to store the water. So if you go for the gallons, you are going to get that plastic only because you are not going to carry that much heavier than the plastic whatever you have it. So I'll just carry on. I will just tell you to carry on the figure right now.
So yeah, to continue what my partner say about that plastic water, we are totally disagree to ban them. Why? Because it makes our life easier. So my question is, what is the problem? The problem is the plastic water. The problem is the plastic. Why that way we don't recycle? So maybe we can find other solutions. So my other question is, if we don't use plastic bottled water, what is another substitute that you were like thinking?
Proposing.
how can I say?
Proposal.
Yeah, that you have on mind. And the other thing is, if you say that about the manufacturer, so if the manufacturer disappear, have you ever think about how many people are gonna lose their job? So it's because we consume a lot of plastic water.
Thank you, cool, and, so everybody got their opening remarks now. Now at this point in the stage of the debate, each team is gonna have 5 minutes to provide a rebuttal, address some of the things they heard earlier. Strong openings from both, go ahead, I'll talk about that later.
We are disagree with this point because this situation is alert, mundial alert, because an alarming estimate predicts that by 2050, the wave of plastic waste will surpass the number of fish in the ocean. But it's important create a consensus in the human about the recycle, about the other solutions. For example, the best option is to use reusable bottles. For example, this one or this one. That's it.
Sorry.
Okay. Every day, humans make more than 10 million of plastic bottles. Every hour that we spend in the world, humans buy 1 million of plastic bottles. Only 60% of those bottles, like around 600,000, we know when those bottles end up. For example, landfills or in a recycling center. But only around 10% of those bottles are recyclable because of the numbers that we have in the back or in the bottom of the bottle. Many of them are useless because of the chemicals that they have. All of them are made of oil, but many of them have some difference because the chemicals that they use give them a different color or a shape and flexibility. So many of them are very toxic and can have a second life or chance. While this bottle, the number one, can be recycled and has a second chance to be shredded and founded or molded for a new bottle. But for that process, it's very expensive and make a lot of pollution because they spend more water cleaning the bottle than we have in each bottle of water. So we are spending more water cleaning plastic to give it a second chance than with the water that we drink. Well, the 60% of the 1 million of bottles that we buy each hour, we know where it ends up. The other 40% can be in wherever we can see. It can be in the space, in the ocean, in a landfill, maybe in your basement. We can know. But something that scientists know is that the bottles or the plastic that ends up in the ocean are eaten by animals. In a study made many years ago, scientists discovered that 9 of 10 seagulls or birds has plastic in their stomach. Many birds and animals are starving every day because of the pollution of the plastic bottles or any plastic, because they create new landfill because we are making more than 10 millions of plastic bottle every day just to satisfy the consumer, and we don't have we are not making a good job to recycle the bottles because we don't have enough space in recycling centers to keep more than 10 millions of bottles every day. So we are making new landfills in the forest or in the oceans, and the animals don't have where to live or what to eat. So many of them are starving every day. So the solution is eat plastic because they don't know the difference between the food and the plastic.
Good. See, your teams are persuading one another. Ooh, sorry. 5 minutes for rebuttal. This team, thank you.
One and one.
All right.
Okay, Edwin just say that we have like more waste of the plastic bottle. So I don't think the problem is bottle or plastic water. The problem here is like how we use it. When you think about water, the first thing you think is about plastic water. Why? Because you think the water is the plastic water is more safety for you. What is worse? To drink in steel. Let's say if we are using glass water, glass bottles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can you imagine the damage glass bottles can cause in jail if like recruiter?
Recycling?
No.
Jail.
Recruiting has like a glass bottle. Can you imagine the damage? And he said also that it's expensive. I don't think the plastic bottle is expensive. The reason the companies make like thousands or hundreds of bottles every day is because the consumers are consuming only plastic bottles. So it's accessible for everybody. So everybody can buy it. I think it's more cheaper. That's why. So when we are producing, we have like a market. We are producing for everyone. If you produce like glass bottles, everyone won't be able to buy it. So some people will be without water, and they will get and die. So I don't think our team and I, we don't think the problem is the bottle. The problem is people they don't know how to use it. On the ocean, we can find a lot of plastics, but we can also find a lot of glass at the bottom of the ocean. So it's not.
It's not just the plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, about the substitutes that is the glass water, or the steel, it could be dangerous because it can, we could have many accidents with the glass. So do you feel good if you give your kid a glass of water and he's in school and the glass fell down, he has an accident, or do you prefer to give them a bottle of plastic water? So, and the same with the steel. So, and people can use this bottle to, I don't know, attack somebody. So you have two things. You have to think what the benefits of the substitute, but you have to think what is gonna cost.
Yeah.
All right, was it?
And even plastic is not the problem here. Plastic is the people's education. Like, if you don't know what the plastic contains and what you want to use, you need to educate yourself. Not the plastic should be banned. Plastic banning is like a problem for many people who are just getting the pay from day-to-day life. Even the recyclable materials that are like after use PET and other plastics of water are easily recycled into many types of secondary products, including carpet fibers, pillow stuffing, tote bags, and strapping materials, some beverages, bottles, and non-food materials. Weight of plastic bottle, minimize the cost of transporting material of recycling centers. So banning the plastic bottle is not the solution. The solution is like training the people, giving the like making the group of the people and just to let them know what is good for yourself or what kind of a plastic you should, how to recycle it. So it's not going to give the problem to the, like as having said, like there will be the problem in the oceans and everything for the sea animals and everything. So there are many of the groups are going on to train the people that you should not throw it in the water, you should recycle that things. So for us, we really disagree with this thing that it should not be done.
Yeah. All right, so everybody, while you're listening, you probably already have come to a conclusion about the arguments each team is making. I was just going to comment out like each team's mentioning statistics to bolster your point. Kind of alarming. When you were describing, it takes more water to wash the trash from the water bottle than it is what we drink. That's a pretty compelling image and stuff like that. And you guys make a great point too. Boy, plastic is so practical and safe, and it makes access to poor people having clean water is easier, especially in an emergency. That's her point. That's right. Yeah, it's safer than glass, certainly if it breaks at school, that kind of thing too. Anyway, and your point more about the plastic pollution being in the ocean, it's the stuff that you see. Yeah, that brings people's attention. There's a lot more trash at the bottom of the ocean that doesn't float.
Yeah.
This is about pollution in general, not specifically plastic pollution. That's your point. Interesting point. Okay. Anyway, I was just saying all that because to let you all know I'm hearing you both. Okay, anyway. Last closing remarks, and then start thinking about what sort of comments or questions you'd like to make. Up here at the big, give her a hand, everyone, give her some confidence.
I know all of you have heard this. It says, for desperate times, we need
Desperate
measures or strong actions, right? And here, right now, we are in a desperate time. Because in the future, if we continue acting as we are acting now, we are not going to have a planet. Your kids are not going to have a planet. So, if you don't want your kids to breathe air that is breathable, continue using those plastic bottles that are contaminating our environment. But if you really want your kids to have a future, we have to look for something different. I'm not telling you that I have an answer. I'm not telling you that glass bottles are the answer or stainless steel is an answer. But definitely, these plastic bottles are not an option anymore. I know it is comfortable. For me, it is better to go downstairs and buy one of these plastic bottles. When I finish drinking this water, I just put it in the trash can and that's it. Oh my God, this is too heavy. If you want to take this, it's too heavy. And our friend here takes his bottle every day with him. He is not wasting money. He is not contaminating our environment. We need to follow. We need to follow people like her friend here. And teacher, can you lend me for a second your bottle? I want to tell you something important about these type of bottles.
Okay.
Guilty.
Yes, teacher, you have to say more.
All right.
You.
No, this is glass.
No, this is plastic.
This glass.
No, this is glass.
Yeah, it's glass.
Yeah. This says bottle made from 100% recycled plastic. Thank you, teacher. Congratulations. Good job. That is great. But what happened with those bottles? Most of bottles said they are made from recycled plastic or from plastic that can be recycled. But it's not the same to say that this can be recycled than to say that this is going actually to be recycled, okay? Most of them are made from plastic that can be recycled, but most of them are not recycled after use, okay?
I'm gonna go 3 minutes, they had a little extra time, go, feel free, you don't have to speak for 3 minutes, but I'm giving you 3, okay? All right, yeah, closing arguments, here we go.
She said in the future we won't have a planet, we won't have our kid won't breathe, and how my kid will breathe if I give him like a glass vessel, he's propense to die. Because my kid is still small and he doesn't know how to deal with glass. So he can be propense, he can fail with the glass and he can even die. I think, as I say, if it's not natural, it will be harmful. But we are looking at the less harmful, not painful. We are looking at the less painful. I think this is less harmful than this, because this can cause many accidents.
Yeah.
With the steel, you can have corrosion. So you will also like get sick and die. So so I think with this, even the planet will be full, but we will find a way to recycle this and maybe to take them to another place, maybe on Marte or I don't know where. But this can keep people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, so our point was that we are disagree with the topic, but they don't have to ban the plastic water, but we have other solutions. For example, the recycled plastic water that she showed us and the biodegradable. So, but their position is that the plastic water should be banned, but she showed us a recycled plastic water. So, it's plastic or no?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's plastic.
Yeah.
So she showed us that we needed the plastic water, but we have to think different. We can use the technology to manufacture a different kind of plastic, not the number 1, 2, or 3, whatever he said. It's not plastic is not going to damage the environment. But anyway.
So as we live in the 21st century, the technology plays an important role. So we have so many of the things like she said, biodegradable plastics are coming on. So if the animals also eat that things, they are not going to like problem for them.
Okay. Yeah.
So we need to educate ourselves what we should use it.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. You're already clapping. I gotta say, I commend you all for your thorough research and impassioned appeals and effective use of engaging with the audience. Oh, let's congratulate our friend over there. Oh, nice to use of visual aids. That's gonna kill you. Anyway, crack me up. All right, comment or question from the audience? Yes, sir. Antonio, go ahead.
Yes, I agree with them.
All right. All right.
But because I will answer your question, Fiorella say, what is the solution? Can substitute the bottle? And Mariano say, they only talk about the safety, you know. And you know, our country, they give low potable water. So you can go to the faucet and drink water directly. So, and here is, I don't know why they want to make money with that, with water bottle. But the question is, to answer your question, it's not the water bottle is not a solution to keep them. We don't have to keep them. We need to learn how to don't dirty the planet. Yes, but it's not a contamination. It's only dirty, so we can we can educate all the people so we don't have to recycle, because in Africa, most of the country doesn't recycle things.
Yeah.
In Europe, you can go, for example, plastic in many supermarkets, you cannot go in with the plastic ball bags. You have to go in with the cardboard bags.
Yeah.
So you can recycle, you don't put it in the trash.
Right.
So that's why it's a way to keep the things we can recycle.
Okay. I'm sorry to cut you off there. Did anybody over here want to make a comment about what he said? Yeah.
Just I want to say that I agree with him what he says. Like in the village, there are the systems where you can go to the tap and just have the water. But in the cities where there is a high level of pollution, you cannot go to the tap and just drink water. Here you cannot go to the Houston and you just take a water from the tap and you drink it. And even there are many of the environmental problems like flooding and everything, that like contaminated water everywhere, just mix the water with the gutters and everything.
Yeah.
So you're not going to drink that water. Even there is a problem like this, the government tells you, just store the water. So you need to, for that you need the plastic. You are not going to carry the glass bottle of like 10 gallons or 11 gallons. How we are going to carry that?
Yeah, the glass.
So you need it's not like the environmental problem, but you need to like have in a practical things.
Yeah.
So you need a plastic for that. You cannot ban that thing for it.
Okay, someone over here.
That's why the government have the chance to make, for example, I make let's say in Paseo Marítimo in our country, you can drink water in any site there directly. So I think they have to put faucets in all the streets.
Faucets.
It's very important.
But what the water is contaminated.
Okay, I'm gonna.
That's why I'm saying the law can be the water have to be potable.
Potable, yeah.
It's not possible. Like practically, it's not going to be
Well,
possible. in the
okay, I'm gonna let Linda respond. Actually, because
No, it's
Okay,
not
okay.
city, because it's like not that.
Yeah.
Like not, it's not like Houston,
Okay.
right?
Okay, it's important mention the water in the border is toxic, it's poison, and the studies say it's more safer tap water. Yeah.
So tap water safer.
It depends. The water, the Houston is bad, but it's safer. It's better than the border
Okay.
border. Because do you have other systems for you clean your water? Is reverse osmosis in your faucet, in sink, in
Most people
your
don't.
house, yeah. And you drink water 90% pure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's no the problem is no just recycle. It's also the water inside on the bottle.
Okay.
For your body, for your health.
Pretty strong statement there.
What
Okay.
is the like solution? What is the like guarantee that the water is coming from the tap is like purified water?
Yeah.
Even there is the problems like I said, like the emergency situations where the water can be contaminated. You have to store the water.
That's true. Okay.
You are not going to drink it with the water. Even if you have the purifier, even it's going to 100% purify the water, you're not going to drink the water.
Fair enough. Go ahead, Hepping. You wanted to say something real quick, and then I'll open it up to another
Okay,
comment.
you are talking about storing the water, but there's a problem with storing water. As you can see, all the bottle of water has expiration date. That's not the expiration of the water. It's the expiration of the bottle of water. Because the plastic is made of oil and many chemicals. After a long period of time, it starts releasing chemicals inside the water.
Good.
So if you keep the bottle for a long time, or you put it in a place where it receives the sunlight, it starts to heat up and get infected.
Yeah, yeah, it's good, but contaminated, yeah, it's
As
true.
we told, like, as I give the answer to the helping, like, as we told, the plastic is not the problem. Problem is to educate the people.
Yeah.
What you should use or what you should not use at that time. After using, why you want to use the expired bottle?
Okay.
Don't use it.
Yeah.
If you have that time, you can use it at that time. Don't buy the expiry bottles.
Yeah, there you go.
Why you want to do that?
Fair point. I'm gonna open it up for somebody else. Thank you, Samina. Yeah, anybody else want to make a comment?
So a lot of bottles.
Okay, I know you got a chance to say something. I was just curious if someone else had a chance to say something. I'm just curious because we're probably going to take maybe 2 more questions and then be done with it. Anybody else want to weigh in? Go ahead, Laura. Yeah. All right.
I think that people in United States needs to be more conscientious.
Conscious.
Conscientious of the planet.
Conscientious. Yeah.
And it's easier to find a substitute product that
Mhm.
to recover the damage of the planet.
Sure. Fair enough. Okay. Anybody? Yeah. Nobody.
I have something
Please.
important. Samina has a strong point.
Mhm.
Contamination, pollution. Yeah.
Mhm.
But how do you think we got to this point of pollution?
Mhm.
And if we want to recover our planet, we need to do something.
Yeah.
If we keep doing what we have been doing for the last years, we are going to end without a planet. So if we want to put a stop in the way we are polluting our planet,
Mhm.
we need to take measurements and we need to do strong actions right now.
Okay.
So that's why banning,
Mhm.
banning the bottles are very, very important.
Okay. Cool.
As
Fair enough.
we,
I think you didn't understand our point, sorry. We say that there are other solutions
Mhm.
instead of this kind of plastic water.
Mhm.
We don't say that we need to keep using this kind of plastic water.
Yeah. This other. Yeah.
Okay, so
Biodegradable.
there are many solutions, and we are we can change the things because it's our responsibility.
Mm.
And that is great.
And
I-
we
I
already
really
like-
hope
we can
it
start-
happens and soon, but now this type of
But you
plastic
can-
bottles
yeah, this
need
kind
to
of-
be banned.
yes.
These ones need to
I
be
mean,
banned.
as we talk, like
some
we are-
solutions, so we can do is continue doing the same.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
right.
cannot change everything very extremely because you are going to cause another accident. You are going to cause other
Okay.
things.
Yeah, but as I told
you
you,
can change. the
We
things
need to do
step by
it right
step.
now, because if we don't do it right now, we are not going to have time to find the solution we want to
and
find.
we, as we
Emergency,
said, like,
okay.
as a technology, we are already upgraded with the biodegradable water
Yes.
bottles.
Yeah.
So we are already like doing in this thing, and we are in the 21st century where the technology plays an important
All right.
role. So we are into that. We are educated now. We are not using this bottle. We
Yeah.
are using that other bottles which are recyclable.
Yeah, and biodegradable ones too.
We
Yeah.
are just going to that point where automatically these bottles are going to.
Gotcha. Fair point. Fair point. Okay. Yeah. Give me a hand, everybody. Yes. Everybody. I'm just curious. One last thing. You guys got put in the group randomly. Did you end up being in the group that you personally agreed with? I'm guessing you did. Yeah. You're really very, very effective.
If I worked there, I was
You'd be very, very impassioned. This is an emergency. That's a very effective rhetorical device. You're in the right team. You're in the right team, right? Or maybe you agree with them a little bit. That's
I
how,
would like to be in a neutral position.
yeah.
Many things to say about Switzerland.
Are y'all in that? Were y'all put in the team that you originally agreed with, or did you have to argue? And did you have to argue something you personally disagreed? Yeah. Okay. Bye, guys. No school. Don't come to class tomorrow. Don't come to class tomorrow. All right. Surveys in here. All right.